Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. This is Real Leather Certified Career Coach. Welcome back to my channel, where we delve into the intricacies of career advancement, fluctuating job market, and explore the keys to career success. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest questions high schoolers and college students face. How do I choose my major? If you've ever felt stressed about picking the right major, don't worry, you're not alone. Most students change their major at least once before graduating. Today, we'll talk about how to make smart, flexible choices, how to understand your own strengths and passions, and how to plan a path that fits you and not just something that sounds impressive. You are the only one who needs to be happy with your choice. So let's break the process into segments so that you can see the steps to take. Let's start with segment one, which is your college years, 1 and 2. Let's start with something that will take the pressure off. When you first enter college, your first 2 years are usually dedicated to general education courses, classes in math, English, science, writing, humanities, and social studies. That means you don't have to know exactly what you want to major in right away. This time period is your exploration phase. It's when you get to try things out, take different classes, and figure out what actually interests you. It's very common to change your major before you start taking your core classes. Core classes are the ones specific to your chosen degree. You realize that business isn't quite for you and decide maybe health science lights you up. That's okay. That's what those first 2 years are for. To make sure you are making educated decisions, be sure you work with your academic advisor. They can help you make sure you stay on track with your credits and graduation timeline. Let's move on to segment two, which is research your field. Before you choose a degree, look into what it actually takes to work in that field. Ask yourself some questions. Will I need advanced education like a master's or a PhD? Are there licenses or certifications required? What kind of training or internships will help me stand out? And most importantly, are you committed to meeting the required preparation to become competitive in that field? So let's take a look at a couple of examples. If you want to be a therapist or counselor, a bachelor's degree is not enough. You'll need at least a master's degree, and many professionals go on to earn their PhD. Or maybe you're drawn to engineering. You will need to take accredited program and need to pass professional exams and may have to work under licensed engineers before getting certified yourself. Even careers like teaching, nursing, or law come with specific steps, exams, and sometimes state-based requirements. So before locking in that major, take time to research your career path. That way you'll know exactly what you're signing up for. Now let's look at location, which we'll cover in segment three. This is something most people don't think about when choosing a degree, where you want to live. Geography plays a huge role in career opportunities. For example, if you want to go into marine biology, living near the ocean opens up way more job options than living in a landlocked state where you will be limited to lakes, rivers, ponds, and creeks where opportunities will be very limited. Or if you're into film and media, cities like Los Angeles, Atlanta, or New York might give you a better network and internship opportunities than smaller towns. But that doesn't mean you can't chase your dreams from wherever you are. But being realistic about how location affects job demand can help you plan smarter. Now let's look at your strengths, segment four. So often we ask ourselves, what do I want to do? Without asking, what am I good at? There's a big difference between liking something and being skilled at it. Let's look at some examples. You might love debating or interested in law, but that doesn't mean you have a talent for it. Or it could, maybe, maybe not. The person with true skills who's creative, precise, and thrives under pressure will probably find a more fulfilling and successful career in that space. The key is to be honest with yourself. Ask teachers, mentors, and friends what strengths they see in you. Take personality and skills assessments and look for patterns. You'll find that when your natural strengths line up with your interests, that's when you will really shine. Let's look at segment five, which is passion in your skills. Let's talk about one of the most popular pieces of advice that we hear. Follow your passion. Sounds great, right? But here's the truth. Passion alone isn't enough. You need to pair your passion with skills. You can be passionate about playing guitar, but if you don't have the discipline or the ear for music, turning that into a career might not be realistic. The magic happens when your passion meets your talent, when you enjoy what you're doing and you're good at it. So instead of just asking, what do I love? Also ask, what am I willing to get good at? Let's look at your personality. Segment 6, match your personality. It's also another piece of the puzzle. Sometimes we imagine ourselves in certain careers that just don't fit who we really are. Like maybe you're thinking about going into enterprise software sales because of the potential salary. But if you're not outgoing, persuasive, or energized by talking to people all day, that might be a hard road. And likely it will be short lived, meaning you may decide to quit fairly early in your career. Or maybe you picture yourself as a librarian because you love to read and living in quiet spaces. But if you've actually got a big, bold personality that thrives in social setting, that may not be a fit. So it's not about labeling yourself, it's about aligning your environment with who you are. Now let's look at segment 7, which is salary goals and realistic expectations. So let's talk money. It's totally fine to have big salary goals. In fact, it's smart. But here's the catch. Not all majors and career paths lead to high-paying jobs. Employers pay for skills and accomplishments, not just because you want to earn more. If your dream is to make a high income, do your research. Look at the average pay for the careers in your chosen field. Also, think long term. Maybe your dream job pays more after grad school, after certification, or several years of experience. For example, someone who wants to be a counselor might need to invest time and years in graduate school before reaching their earning potential. So when you're setting financial goals, make sure they match the education and time investment required and that you are willing to invest. So let's look at final thoughts here. Let's wrap this up with a few reminders. Your first 2 years of college are a time to explore. Take different classes, join clubs, volunteer or intern in different fields. Use that time to learn about yourself, build a network, and discover what makes you excited to get up in the morning. And remember, societies, industries, and economies are always changing. Be flexible, be curious, and be open to growth. Choosing your degree isn't about locking yourself into one path. It's about building a foundation for a career that can evolve with you. So enjoy the journey. Now, if this episode helped you, hit and like the button and subscribe for more college and career advice, and share this with a friend who may also be stressing about choosing their major. See you in the next one.